So we're sitting here with Humberto Ibarra of Glass Bottom Distributors. Glass Bottom, if you've seen these bottles at all, these are Mandala bottles. This is the Dia de los Muertos, the new version.
Limited edition.
Limited edition. So tell us about how did all this transpire? This particular line,
This particular line was through one of my cousins, Joel Garcia Barreto.
Mm-hmm.
He had a project. His family, his dad owns a lot of agave, and a lot of the times, if you're really in the industry, a lot of these agave owners get lowballed for pricing.
Right.
So they kind of figured at the time, versus giving
it away,
let's produce a couple brands, and they did exactly that. And he approached us with this project, which this was the original bottle. I fell in love with the idea of the project. I didn't really care for this bottle, and I told him to come back with something else, and this is what he came back with. And it's
now there's a particular artist involved in designing these bottles, correct?
Gilberto Garcia, and he's in Morelos in Mexico.
Okay.
It's about 45 minutes from Mexico City.
Okay.
It's about a 45-minute drive. He worked for other big artisanal ceramics for about 30 years. He worked for Plaza Azul. He's worked with a couple different people, but ventured off to start his own little shop with my cousin Joel Garcia, and then now this is what they're making. They make bottles for other brands.
I just picked a whole bunch of bottles that I had in storage just last night, and I remember pulling out like bottles of Amor Mio, you know, that had the base and the extra añejo is a complete ceramic, you know, beautiful work.
Right.
And up until Mandala, I had not seen that kind of work, that beautiful work. And the juice was amazing. We have all of the reviews are on Tequila Aficionado, and it wasn't until Mandala came across it that I hadn't seen that kind of work before. Are they the same? Are they the same artisans or similar?
No, it's not. Similar styles.
Yeah.
Handmade, hand painted. I mean, if you ever get a chance to pick up a bottle and you hold a bottle and you really look at two side by side,
no two are the same.
None of them feel the same. And if you look at the detail, none of them are the same because it's done by several different people in one facility. So handmade, hand painted. And we started a little backwards with this brand. We did have Blanco, Repo, and Añejo available, but there's a huge market right now for Blancos and extra Añejos. There's a big trend right now.
Really? Is that the trend you're seeing
now? There's
the
trend that I'm seeing. I mean, as long as from the retail side.
Right.
From the retail side.
Well, that's what counts, right? So it moves bottles.
From the retail side, you see a ton of the extra Añejo and people exploring from Blancos to Repos to Añejos, but you see a lot of movements right now with the extra Añejos. So we started backwards. We started with the extra Añejo, even though we had the entire line available. With the Blancos, with the Repo, and the Añejo, we played with the idea of going also ceramic or going glass. With Mandala, the only thing that we ran into, besides people, I mean, on-premise or off-premise, everybody loves the bottle, but the only problem we've ran into is like, it takes the space of two bottles. Spacing, that's really it. But for the most part, everybody loves the bottle. So we decided that for our line of Mandala, it's going to be the Blanco, the Repo, and the Añejo. It's going to be in glass.
Okay.
And then the
and this will be the special collector's
Exactly.
Well, that makes more sense.
Yeah, and then every now and then, depending on the season, we're going to come out with like limited edition. We have something
that'll
else.
Be cool.
We have something else lined up for next year already. I won't talk about it too much. But
can we be in on it later on?
Yeah, you will.
Okay, good.
You will.
We'll be able to break that story.
But this is the first one of.
That's beautiful. Look at this, man. It's just Dia de los Muertos is coming up. I don't know when we're gonna you'll be able to see this this video, but right now we're in the middle of a heat wave. First game of the World Series, and it's so close to Dia de los Muertos. So here we are. None of the three actually. Look at that. That is a winner, man.
Yeah.
That is beautiful. And I love that what they did was they didn't color the skulls individually, you know, because that would have been a whole lot of work. It's really a lot more impressive as one plain, you know, one skull, all, you know, one type of skull.
Right. So the original design, the idea, we had already played with the ideas of doing limited edition bottles for seasons and everything. And one day I was talking to one of my friends at a gathering, and she came up. She's like, "Oh, you should do something with Dia de los Muertos." And I was like, "We were playing with the idea. We haven't came up with a design." She actually works for Disney, and she draws, she paints.
Oh, no kidding.
And I told her, "Why don't you come up with something?" And she's like, "Cool." Her name is Ramona Pacheco.
Is that the one that you featured?
Yes,
isn't
her.
she featured?
Yes.
Oh, no kidding.
So she actually did the hand sketch, and yes, there was a lot more detail on the actual face and everything. But when I sent the artwork to my cousin, he said, "You know what? I think the entire concept's awesome. We'll run with it, but we'll stay away from detailing each face because it's gonna take
too time consuming." It's really it's much more impressive. Yeah. I mean, it really just stands out. I love it. I think it's a great concept.
So my friend did the design, and then I sent the images to my cousin, and he just brought it to life.
By the way, you can follow Glass Bottom Distributors on Instagram, Facebook, and Mandala also is on Instagram and Facebook as well.
And Twitter, yeah.
And Twitter, yeah. So if you haven't seen any of these pictures or anything about these bottles, check it out. I think you even have a video, don't you? You submitted a video on how it's handmade and hand painted and all that. It's really interesting.
We added another feature because obviously it's not a big brand, so it's not available everywhere to the masses. But we did add another feature to the website on tequilamandala.com. You could actually enter your zip code, and it'll tell you where to find it. You could pick 5, 10, 25-mile radius, and it'll tell you where to find a bottle nearby.
Excellent. Good deal.
So, because I know people ask that all the time, and obviously it's not available at all Bevmos yet, or not even at Bevmo or Total Wines, but it is available throughout some parts of Northern California, mainly Southern California. But you could order online through hightimewine.net, and they ship to like 35 states. So
do it now. Do it now before they're all gone.
Yeah.
Stick with us. We'll be back with Humberto Ibarra. We're going to be talking about some of the other brands that he maintains. Okay.